Love, lift, life. We touch into your mind, body, and soul.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
What up, what up, what up, my people, my black people, my gods, chaos beings, titans, yeah, I like to call y'all motherfuckers self, Wakandians. What's going down? What's the deal? What's popping? What's up with it? Tonight, another show, another Wednesday, making this magic happen, getting this knowledge, trying to drive this knowledge home so we can get on with the get down. You know how we do. We turn on and turn up. So you know what it is. We're about to drop some of this light. See how this light really can manifest into power. The power that we're seeking within ourselves. Yeah, so tonight, man, we're gonna go ahead and bust some of this shit open. We're gonna mainly concentrate on this planetary magic. And then we're gonna bust this thing open and get on this popular topic of the month or of the week, Black Panther. I can tell y'all how I seen it and how I felt about it, just because everybody else is doing that shit. So it's gonna go down. We're gonna wait till some of these people to come on. But yeah, man, we're gonna push this light, man. We're gonna push this light. Don't worry about it. We're gonna push this light. But I want y'all to know and remember, the subconscious mind is all. And me selling these statues and Ashe cards and all these items that can put an impression on your subconscious mind, well, there's a reason for that. And I'm going to bust it open with this Black Panther so y'all can understand how big part of your mind can be reckoned with if you do not use your eye. No, not your two eyes, your eye, your first eye. So yeah, man, we're gonna get it in. Side just said he's gonna call me in a minute. See, Kendra's on, so I'm about to plug her in. And I don't know what my queen didn't call in yet. I was gonna plug her in, but okay. But let me get Kendra on this line. What's up, Kay?
Hey, what's happening?
Man, another week.
Another week. Yep, another week. I didn't get a chance to see Black Panther, but I mean, I'm going to listen in on what you have to say about it, that's for sure. I didn't get a chance to see it. Well, yeah, but I saw. No, I didn't get a chance to see it, and because I had to work this weekend, and I just been real busy. But I plan on, and then I hate going to the movies with a whole crowd of people. I really don't like that.
Oh yeah. I went at 11 o'clock. I went at 11 in the morning just so I could stay away from the crowd.
That's good.
But
that's good.
there still was a crowd. The whole place was packed. It was crazy. Like, it didn't matter what time we went for this movie. It was just completely packed and shit. Everybody had on their dashikis and all of that good stuff. So it was crazy. But yeah, I'll break it down. It's nothing that, like, you know, whenever you see it, you won't be like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But
no, you know, some people have an issue with with people, you know, telling about movies. Not me. I don't have no issue with that at all. You know, but I had I didn't get a chance to even watch Panic stuff, you know, because like I said, I had to work this weekend and stuff. And but I can imagine that just like most movies and stuff, there is a message in it, you know. And I know that you had said that when you posted on the site, on the group page, you said that, you know, we need to keep in mind of Martin and Malcolm X. Just so happened, I was listening to D.L. Hughley, and he said the exact same thing. He said the exact same thing. He said, you know, that he said, you know, it was like a Malcolm and Martin Luther King.
Yeah, so, it was something of that energy.
He picked up on that energy too.
It was kind of. It was an interesting movie. I enjoyed it because I just enjoy movies that are well acted, and, you know, the whole theatrical part, and just the whole energy of the people will make you enjoy the movie, because it's like everybody's talking about it. So I enjoyed it for that simple aspect alone. But
I just think it's
Nah, at the end of the day, you have to watch the movie with your third eye or your first eye.
Yeah, your first eye. And you know what I was saying?
Watch it with 2 eyes, then you get it mesmerized and, you know, falling into it and everything like that.
But I think most people that are on this path of awakening, they always, I mean, you don't take anything for granted. You always look at things. I know me personally. I was watching, for instance, what was the name of the movie with King Arthur and stuff? It was the one that just not long ago came out, where he was like a peasant boy, and he was a young boy in the brothel, and didn't realize he was the King Arthur, and it was a real good movie. But I was like watching the movie, and I was like, this is the Osiris Heru story. You know what I'm saying? The whole story where, you know, you're sitting over here and you go in and you vindicating vengeance, you know, upon your father's death, and, you know, and the brother takes over the throne, and, you know, so basically I think, you know, a lot of things that we have, a lot of times, you know, when we open our eyes, especially our main eye, that has been, you know, clouded by religion and, you know, this white supremacy and, you know, all this other stuff, you know, even our parents and stuff, you know, putting stuff in our heads and everything, you know, unknowingly, I should say, because they wouldn't do that if they knew better. So sometimes, you know, but once we have that eye open and stuff, we can really see, and you're like, golly, man.
Yeah. And basically the movie was something of the energy in the whole USA, black people, black Americans, and all this other stuff. Their energy was. Now, when I'm about to break this down, though, the whole movie, but when I'm breaking it down, I'm not talking to the people that are not conscious, you know, the people that just are black pride people and all of that. The same thing I'll be telling y'all about that Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson crowd. They're gonna love the movie regardless.
Mhm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mhm.
So I'm not talking to them. I'm not directing it to them because, their mind is not at that level.
It's on the physical. They're more on the physical.
Right, and they're just not there yet with it where they're where they can see themselves as not only African but as a god or just as the whole world. You know what I'm saying? It's not only we don't own Africa. We're not just part of Africa. We are the world.
We're indigenous to the planet.
Right. We're this whole earth, whatever you want to call it. We're the Gaia. We are it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's. I like the way you said that. Yeah.
So the whole thing with them is, I understand. Get your black pride on and feel good about yourself for these 2 little weeks or whatever. But what I'm talking about is the people that are like saying they're conscious. If they say they're spiritual workers, we got to stop using that word conscious. But if they saying they're spiritual workers, you have to understand. You have to understand where this thing can really take you if you're looking at it and you saying you're a spiritual worker, especially if you're an African American.
But you know what? I really do believe that we had, this is the thing. I think that some of us had to go through those steps. I know I personally had to go through the steps of being so mentally abused as far as white supremacy and stuff. Believing that you are nothing. I mean, everybody is white. Even you go and make your money. You can't even escape these people. They're on your money. I mean, so I think that having pride for yourself and realizing that you came from somewhere is very important, because I think that you have to build that character up. You can't just go from saying, hey, entrusting your thought pattern into white supremacy, and then from that to we gods. I think that I personally needed that transition to know who I was, and the history on the physical level, what we have done and accomplished, and how that the things that we were taught was wrong. I needed to hear that, and then I think, getting into, listening to Bobby, that brought me into the metaphysical properties, and just like a kid, when you sitting over here and, you believing in the tooth fairy, and then when you get older, you realize, okay, well, the tooth fairy don't exist, or Santa Claus don't exist, or the Easter Bunny don't exist. You can leave those things alone. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you hate it. You just, it just doesn't serve you any purpose right now. And sitting over here listening to these debates and what's not, and who right, who wrong, and stuff, that don't do nothing for me. You see, because right now I want to connect to spirit. I don't want to sit over here and side with somebody who is right and who is wrong. So
hold on real quick, Kenzie. Hold on this side right now. Hello. Kenzie.
Hey,
you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, yeah, just close up.
Hey, family.
Yeah, hey, what else, Doc? Yeah, Kendra, that's good though. I like that, because there is stages to this whole thing. There is levels to this thing where you have to go through the certain steps. You're not just gonna wake up and say I'm God. You know what I'm saying? But especially if you've been programmed in the wrong path. But we have to stop thinking black pride is the same as spirituality. This is not like Eric Thomas and Les Brown and all the motherfuckers. The Black Panther was a good movie. It was a movie I would watch again, and it was an interesting movie. I can't lie, but you can't watch it, just like I was saying, you can't watch it with your two eyes. You got to watch it with that first eye. Because they're always trying to throw these symbols and ideologies and the stereotypes at you. You know what I mean? Without you even noticing it. You can watch it as a beautiful cinematography type Black African pride thing. It's fun to watch. It was a fun. I'm definitely gonna watch it again because it's fun to watch. But when you sitting here and getting programmed and not taking and not understanding the science of what this movie can do to your subconscious mind, you see, because you can reject stuff when you're watching it. You can just watch it and be like, oh, that shit don't affect me. That's nothing, but it's a good movie. You see what I'm saying? You can do that, but at the same time, if you just sitting there watching it and not understanding the symbols that they're throwing at you, then you dead in the water. You know what I'm saying? You must see the bullshit they give you. It doesn't matter. You got to see it, and because the subconscious mind is always getting programmed with whatever you believe to be, whatever you accept. As, oh, wow, this is good. Yeah, let me fall into this, you know what I mean? So just like that first clip, that one clip I posted on the page, that summed up the whole movie right there for me. It was quick. I did that quick. I said, the minute I seen that scene, I was like, oh, okay, I know what this is. When T'Challa was fighting the black cave dude, I call him Hanneman or whatever. I don't know what his name is. And then the dude was like, "Hey, y'all letting this little girl run the whole thing with her technology, but y'all forgetting about y'all science." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he basically said to sum it up.
And
I was like,
let me tell you something. That video, instantly when you posted that video, I immediately thought about. I was listening to was it? I don't know if it was Bobby him. It had to be him, and he was saying that the old gods, the gods we used to pray to, and the gods we used to show reverence to, he said, guess what? We have a new God, because the first thing you do is you sit up there, you wake up, you pick up that cell phone. You don't get on your knees.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the new.
Yeah.
So technology is the new God. Guess what? When you sit over here, if I tell you you got two things to take, I mean, you will sit over here and you will return back home for your cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
You will take your cell phone before your wallet.
Yep. Kendra, but you didn't see. You got to see it because they embedded technology to the point where it was like, wow, this is where we're actually going. And in a sense, this is where we're actually going. Like, it was a great movie with technology and the sci-fi stuff and all the, everything like that. But that vibranium and everything like that is basically powering their city. So it's powering their city with new advanced technology, high-speed stuff, and everything like that, right? And as we know, the vibranium is basically melanin from what KT was saying and everything like that. So when we look at it in a perspective of saying, okay, our melanin is actually powering thought forms to make a physical representation of this new technological age or whatever. So it's kind of like they're working backwards with it because they were saying in the movie she has y'all all confused with all this new technology and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you can sit down and meditate and talk to your higher self and get communication like that. You know what I'm saying? They were using stuff that were like they had phones in their hands, in the palm of their hand. I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, damn, well, that's awesome, but didn't we have that technology back in the day where we could just, you know, see, we can't understand it now because our minds and our pineal gland been so atrophied that we haven't been able to get back to flying and, you know, all that other stuff, all that great stuff we used to do in telecommunication and everything like that.
That's what I'm saying. Didn't they sit over there and use didn't they sit up there and they said that they would beat the drums and the drums would carry these vibrations and they would actually communicate with the drums and stuff like that. Even far away. This is the thing about it and stuff is that because I didn't see the movie, but I'm only basing it on what you're telling me, is that in what I've heard is the fact that you have the dark matter and you have the dark energy and what's not, and we as melanated people, because the reason why they really can't get rid of us, but they have to keep us in a position of oppression, is the fact that we are creating the matrix.
Oh yeah, the world will end if we're gone. Once we're gone, the world is over.
Yeah. So we're creating this matrix. So we are creating this matrix because we are when the closest thing to the event of creation. We are the first or whatever. So if we are connected to the divine, this divine energy, and we are the creators, then you have to keep us oppressed. Because if we were not oppressed, we'd probably be like the people in the movie. You see what I'm saying? So it has. So you can. So basically, what I know is true is that the reason why black people are the most oppressed people globally, no matter what, is the fact that we are the creators of the matrix, and if we are the gods, and you have to keep the gods believing that they are a lower god, so they can create the matrix for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, so they can create. So basically, just like which one says, like, what's his name? Hercules. He keeps the gods on the leash. Now, the gods are more powerful than him, but he keeps them on the leash because if they were to rise up, they can crush him. So, same scenario.
Yeah, it gets deep, man, because and that's a great point, Kendra, because that's exactly what this whole thing is. Like, we're powering we're the creators of everything. I can't even name an invention a white person made. You see what I'm saying? It's probably none. Like, literally, it's probably two. Okay, I'm going to give them two or something that we probably had the prototype of really making. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just the whole idea of being just knowing that you're God, and this movie showing us that we're using something outside of ourselves to enhance our powers through this matrix. You know what I'm saying? They're having fun with it in the movie. It's like the whole technology, or whatever, however the fuck you say it, movie. And it's crazy because I heard Kalindi say, like, he see the future. He the one that do the shrooms and stuff. He was like, man, the future is going to be crazy. Like, they're going to have egg cartons telling you when you're low on eggs. They're going to have milk that's telling you when you're low on milk. Your fridge is going to talk to you. and blah, blah, blah. Your car is going to start talking to you. You're going to be driving down the street, and your car is going to say, hey, you only got 2 eggs left. Would you like to stop at the store over here? Hey, you only got a quarter of milk left. Would you like to stop? You know what I'm saying? Everything's going to be technology driven. And what he was saying was basically this Bitcoin and stuff like that is going to be huge. You know what I mean? Because everything is going to be basically. He even broke it to the point where he's seen future schools. He said there is no school no more. Everybody just is at home, and you put on some kind of headset or eye gear device, and you're in class. You see what I'm saying? From home, but you're just seeing, like, basically you're seeing a class, I guess, or something, and you're still engaged in the class, but it seems like you're really there. So, we're at the early stages of this thing, man. You already see all these porno dolls and all this technology.
Yeah, what is
stuff.
up with that? Yeah, man. That's just really where people just, that they just in this world where they just really, it's like a GMO. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Am I saying?
Yeah,
well, we accept the fake over the real. You know what I'm saying? It's just insane.
And the idea is this movie, because it was so big, because it was so popular, blah blah blah, all of that, right? It's pushing the advancement of technology without you even noticing it. It's so sick because now you're just like, yeah, I want to try that. Yeah, I want to do that. And that's just the masses powering up with their mind. So it can get really deep and, get real, real deep. But you know how that goes. Ty, did you see the movie?
Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, I seen the movie.
You seen it? What you thought about it?
Yeah, just like you said, the movie gave a lot of good points. It was a good movie for our people, you know what I'm saying? And it was good for the psyche to take that next step. But the movie also, it gave a point, and the points were, it was the points of evolution or revolution within the movie also. And so, and each character, they all portrayed, the embodiment of different perceptions that you really can't be upset with.
Yeah.
Or ashamed of,
Yeah.
So then it brings it's like it brings when you're watching the movie, you feel your conscious and your subconscious mind both on. Just like when you were saying, I'm not trying to say too much about the movie. I'm not trying to ruin it for nobody. But like there were certain phrases at certain points of time that were said, and it's like when you hear it, it's like, why would you even bring this up in comparison to this, or why would you even state this into that? So it's it's just in a way, it's just saying that the world with all the technology, just like you're saying, is the subconscious mind.
Right.
Right. All the tech is being subconsciously brought out. But then there's a key point too when he said, I ain't gonna ruin it, but when he was like, is it this or he's like, no, it's technology. Like, okay.
Yeah, that too. That was another point. And see, the problem is that technology was just level 1. Or level 2, that was actually the deep programming. The level 1 programming was that Killmonger stereotype and the T'Challa stereotype. You see what I'm saying? So people are feeling prideful and, people are feeling great and black about being African or whatever. That's why they in these dashikis and all of this stuff. And they're going back to Africa and, we did it, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff coming. But at the end of the day, they wearing all this African gear, African garb. They're not understanding it's not Africa. We controlled the whole planet. You know what I mean? It's not like the first people came from Africa. The first people came from wherever the fuck their foot stood on in the world, because it was just one big landmass. When it was all said and done, but they're failing to realize they're dressing up in these African garbs and stuff, but the stereotype was showing them as Killmonger. The African black, or the African American black kid, growing up, didn't have no dad, didn't know what was going on, basically trying to intellectualize this whole way through this matrix to get back to his higher self, which was the Wakanda as him as a king, but he got there in the wrong way. It's just like going through the chakra system. He's getting there through his ego. He's getting there trying to be, I'm going to show them, I'm going to show everybody, right? He's, because the whole movie, they said, oh, yeah, he's an MIT student. He went to the Army. He got all these awards and blah, blah, blah. But you can tell he's a smart, sophisticated killer, right, with that killer mentality. But at the end of the day, he never really balanced out his lower chakras to understand, like, the past is the past. Fuck all that shit. None of that shit matters. Let me rise up and become my higher self in a more enlightened way, instead of rising up, become my higher self in a way that doesn't benefit me. Like, he killed his old lady. People forget about that. He killed his little chick or whatever.
But the sciences, brother, the sciences. I see what you're saying, but just like we always know, there's more than one way to get up the ladder, or there's multiple ways to drink water. Like, you can drink water in a gallon, you can drink it straight from the river or the pond. His sense. See, I didn't know we were giving the movie spoilers, but okay. No,
Kendra says she didn't mind. Kendra says she didn't mind.
I don't care. Listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm right now. I just want to connect on the spiritual level. I don't care about I mean, if I I just want to learn.
But I don't think you still got to see it. It's not like
you
be like, oh, it's still kind of hard. You got to just see it, really.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Si.
All right. Well, we about to get straight into it, because I seen the whole movie. I was like, okay, well, this is in plain sight. Wakanda was very hard to find. No one could find it, but it was in plain sight. That means it was saying that the world is the conscious world, and Wakanda is the subconscious mind. Because you see, when they was flying, it was like the invisible force field. That then once they went through, you seen everything that was inside. You was like, wow, that's where all the technology and everything was. That's why when they brought when they brought the European, the Westerner, when they brought him in, the CIA agent, they asked him, he was like, is this magic? She said, what magic? This is technology. I was like, damn, sister, you should not, I get you got to compromise some movie lines, but if she would have said, yeah, it's like magic, you know what that would have did to everyone that was melanated?
But you know what? I did, Dale Hughley did make an interesting point. He said, you know what? He said, I saw a change in my neighborhood when Scarface came out. He said, I saw a change in my neighborhood when Boys in the Hood came out. He said, we are, to say that propaganda and movies do not affect us is a lie. Because everyone is going to, you sit up there and you watch some of these movies and stuff, and even the music and stuff, and everything. We are very in tune music and everything. So when you have a movie like this, I've heard, a lot of people, down in it and saying certain things, black conscious people going the opposite, and everything. But the fact that, it brings a pride in who you are as a person, you don't know how that can change. If a child has a positive image about themselves, that changes the direction of their life. So I think the movie was very important, especially for us. Like I said, I personally had to go through the stages of love and acceptance of myself before I got into the stage of connecting on a spiritual level. I had to love me. I had to accept me. And then I was able to go deep and look within. And going along with Sai said, what he had said, some things are just in plain sight. That book, I think it's Hermetica, if I'm not mistaken, and it's poems. It's like poems from like the Pharaoh and stuff. I forgot. I think that's the name of it. It's real small. It's not big. I had heard it on a Bobby Hemmett tape, and I had bought it. And one of the things in there, it says, basically the soul of Tom is talking, and he says, I'm here. I've basically been here all along. I am everywhere, but I'm nowhere. And that's how the divine spirit is. That's with us. It's everywhere, but it's nowhere. I'm infused in everything, but you can't see me. So, it's just, something like, just thinking about, like, Sai was saying on the spiritual level, with the conscious mind. It's there, but you can't see it.
I understand what you're saying, Kendra, with that whole point of being, the black pride thing is good for the people that need it. You know what I mean? For them people that need it, for that type of energy. But still, at the end game and end result, there's still a programming and embedding in there that powers the subconscious mind in a certain way. Like for instance, they were going to the spirit world, right? They were going to the spirit world, seeing their ancestors, seeing their dad and stuff, right? And Killmonger, I'm gonna give you this one part, right? Kendra, I'm gonna give you this one part. Killmonger went to the spirit world, right? And they had to take this herb to go to the spirit world or whatever, right? Took the herb, was enlightened, went to the spirit world, seen his dad, blah blah blah. And motherfucker woke up and said, "Man, burn them herbs." That shit is stupid. So now every black, he was saying, "Fuck that shit is stupid, that shit don't need to be here no more." You know what I'm saying? And they burnt them. See, our subconscious mind is going to see that as a black American kid, which all the, people in the USA should identify themselves with, as burning, like saying, fuck them herbs. You know what I'm saying? Don't take no herbs. That can't do that to you. This herb is not gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? This thing is not this is not important. You know what I mean? The secret life of plants, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like Felinde said, you take these mushrooms, you go to another dimension, you figure out yourself, the bill of this illusion will just come right off, and you'll be like, oh shit, okay, now I can see. You know what I'm saying? Then you come out of that little and I ain't never took them, so I'm still waiting on my experience. But when you hear them saying that, you can understand and see the kind of energy that he's bringing, that that he's saying, look, I've seen these worlds. You can do it too. Take these, take this herb, blah blah blah. Like I just bought some herbs from Angela that I wanted to try. That should take me into deeper states of consciousness and stuff like that. So and seeing that part, it was kind of like, damn, okay, well, what was that about? You know what I mean? Like, why would they try to kill what is so pure to them? Why would they try to kill?
Oh, I can add to that for you, brother.
Going to the spirit world, right?
Oh, I can add to you for that, brother.
Because I know it was
because he didn't grow up in Wakanda,
Exactly.
and it's kind of like the whole story symbolically was saying, how we're all young, like if you're an American, if if you're melanated in America, you learn a story about slavery. Mm-hmm. So it always tells you you've been disconnected from your roots and disconnected to what's a part of you. So that whole scene was just showing the disconnect. That scene was showing the disconnect of him for not understanding and not also overcoming his demons, which were his fears, his doubts, his pain, his sadness, his insecurity, and that's what that scene was about. Because his whole portrayal was, even though I'm an American, I'm still royalty. I'm always royalty.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then the whole movie was just showing like, okay, you're going back into your roots. You made it back home. Like this is like I agree with you said about him killing his girl.
Mhm.
That was symbolic for saying,
yeah, this is what black men do over here. We don't fuck with our girl like that. We don't treat them as queens, basically. You see what I'm saying?
That too. Yes, that too. Yes, damn, that's tough. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, brother. That too. Also that a lot of men, a lot of black men in America, we feel like we're trained to believe, we're under the illusion that in order for us to hit our highest spiritual peak, we must attain it by ourselves. And everything else then falls in line after.
That's good, Si. I like that.
That's real good.
That's because he killed off his feminine energy with that.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It gets so deep, man. The movie was good, like I said. You just got to watch it with that first eye and not them two eyes. For real.
But brother, that was deep right there too. That was real deep. That was real deep.
That's how we see it. We can see it all the way through.
You said that's how black men treat their women in America, and if you look at it right now, like, wow.
Yeah, but you know what's so crazy about it? Because see, these people didn't understand the whole movie. Like, the Killmonger is a representation of the black man in America, right? So as he's showing his strength, as he's showing his knowledge, his intellect, and his strength, his power, and all of that, you can see obviously that when dang Kendra, I don't like ruining the movie for you, but
no, go ahead, I'm listening. Because you know what? It's like I'm telling you right now. It's like you're giving me a cheat sheet for a test. So go right ahead.
But
no, look at it better.
No, you can see as he kills T'Challa or whatever, right? Now he has the power. Now you can see he's obviously more advanced. It's just like people over here in America. We got the LeBrons. The NBA is full of black guys. You see what I'm saying? The NFL is full of black athletic guys. Like, we are it. We are a new being. We are melted. Like Bobby says it. Bobby says it all the time. He said we are a new created version of this African thing. You got to stop thinking we're African and know that we are it. We are the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's good to have black pride and all that other shit, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, we got to understand that we are it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else, period. That's it. And once we understand that, now we can understand, okay. And, you know, it's not to the point saying, like, people are going to just get it at first. I mean, watch the movie. If you feel black pride, then go ahead and throw up your fist. But at the same time, we know better than that. You know what I'm saying? We know that we are man, how did Bobby used to say it? We are the new creative version to destroy this earth. Like they say in that, I got to find the book. Like they say, it's going to come out the Westerners. You know, the Westerners are going to be it. Like everybody in Africa are Christians now.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They don't got no spirituality. They don't got no spiritual system.
I work
you know
with I work with a doctor. She's Nigerian, and she was like, we was talking, she was Jesus. I'm like, I mean, they speak Yoruba, and and I mean, she knew, well, yeah, I kind of know a little bit about Oshun. Like, really? Like,
right. You got to understand, we
unbelief.
are the spiritually enlightened beings here in America. That's us. You know what I'm saying? Just because we think this country is full of shit or whatever, fuck that shit. We are the ones that look at the people we got. Bobby, Panic, you know what I'm saying? Phil Valentine, Dr. Delbert Blair. You know what I'm saying? All the great teachers that came. Even you can go all the way to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. The Black Panthers, the Huey P. Newton, and all of them. You see what I'm saying? All these teachers, Dr. York, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Francis Crescent Welsing dropping that. That is just pure genius. They not doing that in Africa. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, they had a church to fall down and kill like thousands of people. I mean, the church was packed over there. It killed thousands of people in Nigeria, and they take Christianity to a whole nother level. I mean, really to a whole nother level. I mean, all kind of stuff they do.
Yeah, the reason why we're coming back here to this land in America is because we're trying to prolong the advancement in this spiritual game. You see what I'm saying? We the great Westerner, that's us. You know what I mean? Like, we're it, man. We're coming back in these physical bodies. We're not coming back as Africans. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the means and the resources. Well, of course they do. A lot of them do, but they don't have. Most of them don't have the ability to find the book. You know what I'm saying? And then it's crazy. They're looking for us. Like all them lectures Bobby used to do in England and all that stuff. That's for real. They calling. They like, hey man, let me find. Hey, give us that light. What's up? They bringing somebody from South Carolina all the way to Europe. Just to, you know what I'm saying? And Bobby is just dropping straight light. It's just magic, man. And I think in the movie they tried to play the Killmonger character like we don't have no spiritual life. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. We're all left brain thinkers. We don't think with our right brain. We don't have no creative energy. We're just gonna do what we're supposed to do and kill to get to the top, instead of using our right brain, or even better yet, balancing it out and get into our higher self in that way. So then we can enlighten others. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ty.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, brother. You see, but then we got to get back into the science of death. Like, what is death exactly? You see, like, since life, we all, and, this is not a conversation to encourage people to go ahead and just die or just to kick in the rocks. But, like, the more we study, like in ancient times or like our ancestors in mythology, we always, you know, and then no matter what path you go, because it always leads back into saying that we, like the ancients all knew that. So if the ancients knew, our subconscious mind knows that death is the leaving of this life to say now we're going on to the next level of what we're supposed to do in our mission that's not meant for third density. Only if we accumulated enough experience points that we needed to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. So Killmonger, because the only thing about Killmonger that in this particular movie is, you know how we're so used to the villains. We're so used to villains that have, they have crazy ideologies, crazy logic, or just a crazy perception. Mm-hmm. But if we look at the movie with such a thin line, a distinction of like the difference between the melanated people in Africa and the difference between the melanated people in America. However, the only, they did it in the sense of, killing and this, but that was his balance. Like his balance was whenever he opened his mouth, we was to be honest, like every time he opened his mouth, he was like, wow, I can't really disagree with you on that. Maybe his actions is where everyone comes into play to speak for the actions, but the actions were just like a symbolic, just to translate to the sub. But just like you also were saying, from the movie, look how many people would take Killmonger's character or his embodiment and say, no, I'm riding with T'Challa. And it's almost like saying we're not in the point of time that we need to be like that. Mm-hmm. Because, Killmonger, he had passion, and you see that passion drove him to never, ever stop and to keep going to get his goals. Mm-hmm. I would personally say the main key in the movie would be to take Killmonger's passion and his ideologies, and if he was able to be level-headed as far as having a different plan, because I think the thing that made everyone shocked with his character was as soon as he automatically got on the throne, he said, "This is what we're going to do immediately." Immediately, it wasn't no. Okay, now that I'm in this position, let me balance myself. Let me figure out a different avenue of approach. Mm-hmm. But then again, if we were to break it down by the sciences, his approach was at the rawest, purest form. Mm-hmm. Just like you tell a lot of people, like you can tell everyone, oh yeah, you're a vegan, or this is your diet plan, and they say, oh no, I can't do that. And this is no disrespect to no one's diet or no one's eating habits, but I tell people all the time, and I only say this once they start to attack like the veganism. Like once they attack, I ask this one question. I say, okay, if you cook whatever you cook for your preference, don't put any type of seasoning, any type of flavor, nothing. Just cook it raw and eat it raw. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to like it. Why? Mm-hmm. But you're getting the raw, authentic, like you're getting exactly what you got. Nah, but I need to put some flavor and, bring out the taste and the spices. So it's almost like saying it's because we're so used to in this physical incarnation, we're so used to moralism. Mm-hmm. What's right and what's wrong and what's wrong and what's right. However, if you see the people who are oppressing us, they don't have a right or wrong. That's why they do whatever it is they want to do. And whether we agree with it or not, whether they get it's almost like saying when the mind, just like whatever we believe, we can conceive and achieve. Mm-hmm. So in their mind, for however much darkness is, because if you notice, anytime anyone brings up the ancestors, what happened in the past, what their forefathers did, they never talk about it. So what they're doing is they're in denial, and they're telling themselves it never happened. I physically wasn't here. So all that doesn't apply to me in a sense.
Yeah, no, that's good because no, I do like that approach. But what I think is some kind of energy. It's not the energy, because the energy he has is great. I mean, he can be mad, and he can do whatever the fuck he want to do. It's not. We don't want to make it seem like he has to be morally right and anything and all of that to get to a higher state of life. Because I don't want people to get confused with that. But what it is I think it was more so his past holding him, because he always kept on bringing up, yeah, you killed my father, and all this other stuff and blah blah blah. He's thinking he's holding that in his sacral chakra. You know what I'm saying? In his confidence, basically.
I agree.
So I think his and I mean, it could actually have went anyway. He could have aligned his chakras and got to the his higher self and been just a mad dude. Shit, you see him?
Yeah.
It can go either way. So you never know. But what I thought they were trying to show in the movie was him never getting over, because he cried when he did go see his dad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He cried as an older guy, but he didn't cry when he was a little kid. So basically, they were trying to show us that he never got over that young kid. You got to go back whenever you are dealing with the chakra work. You got to go back inside yourself and find that lost pain that's hidden deep into your subconscious and extract that, and then come out of that and get to your higher self. You see what I'm saying? So he never got past that hurt. And if he never got past that hurt, that means everything he does is never pure of heart. You see what I'm saying? Now everything he does is just built on a strength of shit, I'm mad and I'm a killer and blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no like, he can actually become a pure heart killer, but he never shows that he enjoys killing. You see what I'm saying? He enjoys it, like he enjoys doing what he does. It's kind of like in a vicious or visceral way, like, oh, I'm mad because I had to grow up as a young black poor kid from the hood with no dad, that you killed my dad or something like that. You see what I'm saying? That type of shit.
Yeah, but then that kind of, like, on the spiritual path, that would kind of give him no attachment, because it was like with him, he was killing, but everything he said, he had a purpose, and then he was like, wow, like, all he wanted to do was he wanted to get rid of all the oppressors, and he wanted to liberate his people globally. And then it was like, and then, T'Challa, it kind of showed, like, you think he had all, like, the females, he had the community with him, so he grew up balanced, but you still seeing he was in the sense of, like, I'm not going to say he was a child, but he was a child in the movie. It kind of made it showed, like, African people or people, I don't want to say Africans because of the role, but it kind of made it, also the symbology was saying that American people have grown up. We have evolved, just like you were saying, that's to refer to Bobby Hemmett, to Phil Valentine, to Brother Panic, and all the other scholars, that because of the level and the intensity of the adversity that we had to face in America, that automatically gave us an alchemical transformation that we are really the chaos beings, if you would to see it by it. So his embodiment, because I agree, like with everything he did in the movie, there's certain things I'm like, okay.
No, sorry.
You
got to stay with where you was at, because that's good. Because you right there. You just got to stay with it. That's good. We need that too, because that's good.
And then you know, with him, it was just like, because of everything, like all the pain and hurt that he's been through, it just basically gave him like he basically had nothing else to hold on to in this world. He's like, okay, well, now I see everything from me's been taken, so the most that I can do, my whole purpose would be just to free all my people, so no one around the world ever has to go, and no one around the world that looks just like me has to go through any of this anymore. And T'Challa's approach was like, because he had never been through that experience. He never had to go through certain hardships. He never had to go through certain adversities, and because of his status and because his royal status, just like you see it around the world today, if you are a melanated person with a certain amount of physical currency, you get treated a certain way as opposed to the people who don't. So the whole movie, he was also like, Papa, why'd you do this? Why didn't you, like, his curiosity kept allowing him to grow. And just like you said, when he went back and took the spiritual herb before he burned it, he cried as an adult. But the hardest part for everyone to get over is their childhood trauma. The childhood traumas that's the last bit of your blockages, of the gatekeepers to open up that infinite world for you.
Yeah, because that is like opening up the crown chakras is forgiving yourself, and letting go, is that the pineal gland? I'm trying to think which chakra it is. One of them is like you have to let go. You have to, in order for you to reach your highest potential, you have to be able to let go of and forgive, yourself or others of anything that occurred to you, Because let's be real, if you are really becoming the God that you are, you can't be a God blaming somebody else. You just can't. You got to be able to even accept the things, just, forgive that person, move on, forgive yourself, and move on and move forward. Because if you're stuck on, on something that someone did to you, and, as a child, and, they took advantage of your innocence and stuff, you're not going to become that God that you're supposed to be. You have to be able to let that go and forgive that person who did it. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's good. That's letting go. Basically, that's how you tap into the heart chakra. That's when you. Yeah,
the heart. You can't move up to the crown.
Yeah, you don't become conscious until you tap into that heart chakra and just let this past and all that other stuff really go. Because now, once you're able to forgive yourself because look, you, at the end of the day, you put yourself down here in a sense of ignorance, right? And when as you put yourself down here, you knew the challenges you was gonna do. You picked your parents. You see what I'm saying? Like, if we're all seeing, knowing, and everything, we know who we picked to come through to have an experience that was going to teach us something so we can grow. You know what I'm saying? But as long as we understand that this is all illusion, none of it matters, then we can forgive ourselves for just being human, right? Forgive yourself for being human. Forgive your parents for being human, right? And then as you're in that lane of self-knowing, now you can rise up and do everything to your heart, not having no kind of ego about your spiritual work or having an ego about, I'm the man or whatever. I run this shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't about none of that shit. All this shit is about figuring out yourself and becoming God. You know what I'm saying? And that's how. Let's see if my queen has some light to drop on it. Let's see if she wants to talk. Queen, because she seen the movie and what up, babe?
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey. What up? You got any light on the movie? I know you do.
Actually, I was just listening. I mean, y'all are saying so much great stuff, pointing out so much stuff that, that I really resonate with. I mean, all I can say, Kendra, is definitely go and see the movie, but I just was loving that we at least got to see them doing some things that we understand are magical, like taking herbs or like them going to the ancestor realm and being able to talk and commune with the people that have passed on. And I also really love the opening scene when they talk about how the Black Panther even came about by Bastet coming to one of the great-great-grandfathers or whatever, and telling them what to do. So I was glad that we did get to see that, though they have all of these other subliminal messages talking about, togetherness and all of that stuff, which are things that keep people grounded to this earth and not really thinking on higher realms. They still did show little bits and pieces. So, for us people who are aware, those are the things that we look at and be like, oh, wow, it's just, again, confirmation that we are doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's good. Right?
And I did see on like one of the reviews, he was like, instead of saying for God's sake, he said for Baset's sake. So they did, they did make a lot of references to I know they were saying that actually the original the character and stuff is really based off of, a lot is based off of Baset,
Right.
Yeah,
and so
I
really
enjoyed it too,
that.
like that. Yeah, and that's a good point, babe, because we don't see that a lot. But you know what Marvel does? They do that. They do a lot of stuff like that. They do bring. Remember that Wonder Woman? It's the same thing. We want to go for the villain. Like the villain was like, hey, and the villain was Ares. Of course, it was basically Ares was the god, but it was but they were trying to represent it as the zodiac energy. But it was like, hey, he was like, when he came back, he was like, hey, come back, let's rule this world from the spirit world. And she was like, nah, I gotta save these humans. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. They did the same thing with Suicide Squad and all of that. They turned them into humans and stuff like that. So the whole idea with this Marvel thing is they give you spiritual light. They give you some insight into the spiritual world. Even what was that? What the hell is that movie? What was that movie?
What movie? I'm trying to think about what you're talking about.
The one with the Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I think that was a Marvel movie too.
Yeah,
they give you all this light. Yeah, they give you all this light and all this energy to where you can see the spirit world, but then they try to slowly take it away and make you fall in love with the hero, which is which is a human. You see what I'm saying? They want you to stay stay human. They don't want you to become a god. They want to give you this stuff, the good, because we can see it, of course, but the humans can't see it. So they never get a chance to become God because they thinking, oh, that's a fantasy, that's a fairy tale. That'll never happen, so it's one of those type of things.
Yeah, and that's why that's how, and that, saying all of that is also just a testament to the simple fact that, many are called, but few are chosen, and we are really privy or privileged to be able to, withhold this information and have this knowledge, because random people or regular people who don't have no knowledge of self looking at this, looking at Black Panther, multiple times in Black Panther they said praise to the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? They gave so many clues as to what we really should be, giving our energy to. So many clues. And there's so many people that aren't catching it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing, I'm seeing everybody's comments. They loving Black Panther, beautiful movie, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But I'm not seeing anybody on my, Facebook timeline or Instagram timeline, anything like that, saying, wow, shout out to how Black Panther made sure that they showed reverence to their ancestors whenever they did anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's it's just a reminder that this is really, the information is out there, but it's really only for a certain few people. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not meant for everybody to see it like that. It's meant for people to see we need to come together as Africans and Black people in America. We need to build banks. We need to do Black community stuff. That's what's meant for them to see. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think also, like I was saying earlier, I had to get into that self-love mode before I got to that spiritual mode. And then, so even though, some people are going to sit up there and become more loving to themselves as being of African, being of African descent, they'll be more, being a melanated person, they'll have more love for themselves. I think that they're going to have some that are going to move forward into where we are right now,
Right, of course.
Yeah, I think because I didn't hear nothing about the ancestors either. I must agree with you. Everybody that I read on my timeline said it was a great movie. I would now, being that I'm into giving reverence to my ancestors and stuff, I would have picked up on that immediately. And my kids would have picked up on that. Mama, there they go with their ancestors.
Exactly. It's just after they did anything ceremonial, it was praise to the ancestors. After everything.
Make y'all laugh. My son, I had got some nice, good, juicy oranges, and it was like they were like so good. They have he was like he was tearing them down and whatnot. And so he was going to the bathroom. He said, "Mama, you gave the ancestors our good oranges." I said, "Baby, they gotta have the best. They gotta have the best."
Exactly.
So I mean, I want them to see me do these things, and I want them to pick up on these things because I want them to continue practicing. Just like I saw my mother do certain things, children will do what they see their parents do, and so forth. So I'm just, like I said, I'm learning and stuff, and they'll come and ask, "Mama, what's that on there? Mama, why you?" My son, I'll be burning incense. He was like, "Mama, you got it smelling like a funeral home in here." But he know what time it is when I'm burning those incense, So
wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, but definitely we all started out in our consciousness somewhere. Like I randomly just started, watching meditation videos, and then it transferred into like that black consciousness kind of thing, and then I went back to understanding meditation. So definitely there are some people that are in the audience as you're watching, something resonates in them and says, that's interesting how they saying praise to the answers. That's interesting how they are taking herbs and going, to the astral world and are communicating with people who have passed on. So it's an amazing thing, man. It's an amazing thing.
Yes, it is. Yep, and one thing I can say about that movie is I didn't see no Christians or crossings in that thing, so
that's
it was a good movie. All right, man, let's get to this chapter, because I know we do that every show. We go in on the distraction of the week. We need to start calling that the distraction of the week. There's always one. There is always one, man. Okay, so this is planet. What is it? Planetary Magick. Okay, so this was a good ass chapter. Goddamn, I mean,
it was very in depth. But you know what? As I was reading and stuff, and I had to. My spirit told me, you know what? This is all important. Don't get me wrong. Of your spiritual development, but you have to remember. And I heard Panic said that it's basically you can go beyond this whole thing, this whole energy. Just because it's storming outside, don't mean that you can't sit over there and get to where your destination where you have to go. So even though you have these planetary energies, and you're looking at your natal chart and stuff, and you're like, oh man, this is kind of bad. You only whatever you believe. You will definitely conceive in your reality. So you can't even let that to define you. Either you're gonna be a god or not. But that's basic. Yeah. And I'm loving the research, but I mean I had to come to the realization because I was like, man, golly, this ain't good in my chart right here. And I was like, well, Kendra, look, either you're gonna be the god or not. I was like,
and that's the thing with it because. Bobby said that too. He was like, y'all didn't even know what Mercury in retrograde was until y'all heard it. You know what I'm saying? So that is an important thing that we keep in mind, that we can do whatever the fuck we put our mind to. But with this thing, I guess he did it a little bit differently than the last chapter with them zodiacal signs magic. But he basically was saying, hey, use these planets as symbols.
As symbols,
you see what I'm saying? So use the colors, use the attributes, use the energy as a symbol. Like the Venus is love and all of that and blah, blah, blah.
And of course, the more you put into your ceremony, the more you get out of it. So if you're using the planet, use the color. You know what I'm saying? You using, whether it's north or, south, west, the more you put in it, the more you really are convincing your subconscious mind. So, okay, well, we need to bring this into reality because, you're really triggering something in your subconscious mind. Basically, the more involved you do, the involvement you have.
Because this is basically a tool. See what I'm saying? It's basically a tool, like all these planets and stuff. It's basically a tool for you to use a different type of magic with. So, for instance, you have to consciously know what these planets mean. You have to consciously know, like you intellectually know, like we know about the chakras or whatever. Like you have to consciously have your mind known to what these planets mean. And then from there, when you start using the symbols of the planets and the colors and things of that nature, then your subconscious mind picks up on it as you're doing these rituals. Okay, so that's the whole idea of this chapter. I mean, it's not, but he didn't He didn't try to say it as no zodiacal energy or nothing like that. And the birth chart is the same thing. He wants you to have some kind of understanding of, because we have, we came down here at a certain time, a certain date, blah, blah, blah. For a certain reason, we came down at that time. So if these planets are aligned in our different sections of our chart, in our 12 little chart parts, then and we take these planets and manipulate the energy, referencing the intention we're on, right? Then we can be able to manifest the results we want. So, for instance, he was saying, like, okay, if Venus is in your money chart or whatever, then blah blah blah. You invoke the energy Venus. You know what I'm saying? So you use that planet as and just because it means love doesn't mean you gotta use it for a love thing and such of that nature. So yeah, I thought it was interesting how he did it. I'm a scientist, so I'm gonna go deep into it. Like, I already printed out the planets. I'm about to memorize them and blah blah blah. Try to just memorize the characteristics. So now that I understand that planet, I can just understand it as an energy. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I can use it as will, really. So, and then another beautiful thing I thought about was when everybody's saying, it's Mercury rising or some shit like that, or then that's the time to really use these planets so you can power up from their energy, and then you can just suck all that in, and then your intention will be that much lighter because you're hearing it all day. So, as once you put all these physical objects in your intention that relates to that planet, now your intention does become a physical reality.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, for instance,
it's different. It's different. We don't have to do that shit like he was saying. Like we know, what I mean. But it's just good to know and just really dive into that thing like that.
It's like to me, it's almost like.
You heard anything about? What now, brother? You broke up a little bit. You understand anything about that planetary magic?
The planet, a lot of things also. I know when you get into the planetary magic, one thing before you do that is you want to do a sealing of your senses. You want to seal off the senses of your sight, smell, hearing, touch, and what the fuck is the fifth one? Did I say them all? Sight, hearing,
smell, hearing, touch, feel, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you seal your senses, now what you're doing is because you're dealing with cosmic energy. So you don't want, because if you don't protect yourself, excuse me, if you don't put like a type of aura or like a barrier of protection, or if you don't seal off your energy, then what happens is, let's say, for example, it's all part of us. It's all part of us. So it's all of our darkness, our light is all part of us. But what happens is you'll have certain of your energies that don't want to die, like certain old patterns that don't want to die. So they would demonize themselves on a vibrational realm. And what they'll do is they'll come and they'll try to cause interference with your work. And so, like, you know how, like, let's say today's Wednesday, we all charge up. But if we didn't seal ourselves, Thursday could be a lot of adversity to try to put us in the realm of a certain emotion we don't want to be in because it's going to drain our energy. Then Friday, all of a sudden, you may see a test come on Friday. And you'll be like, wow, it's really going to, And so one thing when we're dealing with planetary energy, because it's all inside you, but it's like a radio beacon. So you're turning on that light that's inside in order to call the one that's at top or the one that's above. And
that's good. And they were saying how these planets do relate to certain days of the week, and how you can actually manipulate each planet on certain days of the week. And there was two different ways to use it, right, Kendra? The planet as in energy or magic. You see, you can use it with the birth chart way, which she was saying was the most effective way, or you can use it, in the just basic magic way. Just use it straight up and down. Like, okay, I know this planet represents this type of energy, so my intention is plugged into this type of energy. So let me go ahead and align myself with this planet, align myself with these symbols, basically, and align myself with the proper physical tools to turn my ritual on. But the biggest thing is imagination, regardless. So you still have to visualize and imagine, this energy also.
And also you also can look and see. You remember we had reviewed the that Cunningham book with the herbs, and some of the herbs you can also you can also infuse that in your ritual. Also, some, like for instance, the moon is like coconut, cucumbers, lemons, lettuce, lilies, and for instance, Venus is corn, daisies, elders, iris, hibiscus. So you can, incorporate, some, for instance, if you're doing a ritual, with Venus, you might pick some hibiscus tea, for you to, so it's different things that we can do to incorporate this into our rituals. Also, I think knowing this information is really good because, like you said, the energies are built within us and stuff. Because we are the universe, and this energy is built. So, but the difference between knowing and not knowing is like it's like you know it's going to rain, and everybody else is out with no raincoat and stuff, but you are protected because you knew it was going to rain, and you are in a more comfortable position because you have a raincoat, you have your boots on, and you have an umbrella. So this information is very important and stuff, but we definitely can work with that energy in all kind of different ways, just like our ancestors did.
Yeah, and that's key too, because at the end of the day, it all boils down to us. I want us to drive this home too, so the family can understand this imagination. We have to be able to, when we go into our meditations, when we go into just closing our eyes and really turning on that imagination process or that visualization process, and empowering up that thought or using that imagination to drive home to our subconscious mind, that is key. Like, that is it. Imagination and subconscious mind work hand in hand. That's a definite. That's why just with the Black Panther movie, it's the same thing. They're giving you the visual response, right, to program to your conscious mind that will infiltrate to your subconscious mind. You see what I'm saying? So with the stereotype of the killmonger, you don't see no You know, you don't see no Michael B. Jordan. You see a African American guy, black guy that's mad. You see what I'm saying? You don't see with T'Challa. You don't see damn, what's his name? You know, the actor. You just see African. That's why it was so important for them to pick up the accents and stuff like that in the movie, so that stereotype can be embedded into you, and something is speaking with you, saying, "Oh no, that's not me. I don't speak like that." And then you hear Killmonger, and you say, "Oh yeah, that's me. I speak like that." You know what I'm saying? So it's something in the imagination and the subconscious mind that you have to drive home with all these symbols, every symbol. That's why my whole business is selling symbols, because I know the importance of it. Like the magic me and my queen does is just spectacular, and that's because we're patient. We know, right? We know and understand, and we have nothing but pure symbols all around us. So some of the things that we do is about preparing our rituals and making sure we have an emotional response as we're doing these rituals. You know, you can't really play with this thing. You got to do it, and do it with pure heart. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure everything is aligned right. You don't have no kids or anything around that's going to distract you. And you want to be able to power in that emotion as you do this ritual. You don't want to have no distraction of the day, no worries of the day or none of that shit. You want to make sure your intention is set in your head and drive home that imagination through this ritual, through whatever ritual you planned out. Like I tell people all the time, planning is key. You see what I'm saying? Like I wrote that shit down. It was so good. He said in the book, planning and performing rituals is similar to staging a play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you want to be able to make this an act. You know what I'm saying? There we go, talking about movies again. You want to be an actor.
An actor,
you see what I'm saying? You want to put yourself in character.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? If you want to be T'Challa, well, put yourself in that character then. You see what I'm saying? If you want to be Killmonger, well, then you put yourself in that character. But see, the thing that happens is when they're watching this movie, they're not putting themselves in the character. They're not invoking the character. They're evoking it, right? And they're looking at the character, and they're basically praying to the character. Oh, I love Killmonger. Oh, I love T'Challa, right? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we're not supposed to be praying to anything. We're supposed to be invoking. Yeah, that's me right there. That's me on this stage. You see what I'm saying? And that's why imagination is key to placing your own ideology inside of yourself. Yep. I'm trying to see what else he said in this book that was so deep.
Has anyone during their practices seen certain images that we may call them like a demon or something that's dark, but then you don't get scared of it, and then once you don't get scared of it, you see that demon or that figure, it starts to change and morph into what we actually were trying to look for.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Penny talking about that. So what it came in to me is a form of kind of what you would say, like worriedness or something like, damn, am I gonna have a house, or I'm gonna be a poor person or something like that, or blah blah blah, or all this other like kind of worried type of idea of yourself, like will I die, or will I get my arm cut off, or blah blah blah. But yeah, them thoughts can come in your head, and you can see actual images of that. But you gotta stick with it, and then let it form into something that's greater than yourself. Because a lot of us wasn't scared of them movies as a kid. Them demons and stuff that you're seeing were just images of like shit. When I was a kid, I was watching Cheaters. You see what I'm saying? Y'all remember that show, Cheaters? So shit, my whole programming was based off of that shit. Shit, me and my little brother used to sit there and watch that shit and be like, damn, shit, I hope that never happened to us. Shit. You see what I'm saying? And you see, so these images and
Cheaters?
Stuff like that.
Like, what kind of show that is?
You remember Cheaters? You don't remember Cheaters?
I like this dating show.
Yeah. It was like a dating show called Cheaters. Well, it wasn't a show. They was spying on people cheating.
Yeah. Oh, my sister's addicted to that. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. See, yeah. See, and in that addiction, that's just programming you to feel like you don't even know it. You can be like, nah, this ain't affecting me. Hell nah. But the more you watch it, you probably like, especially as a kid, shit, that can leave an impressionable psychology on you to where you feel like, damn, I can never trust a girl.
Why you didn't call me at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, that type shit.
You came home at 4:15.
Yeah. You have to watch it. You actually programming yourself.
Damn, I just called you. Why you didn't pick up when I called? That type of shit. Right.
Oh my.
So you know what I'm saying? That could leave some kind of the stain on in your subconscious to where you're not worried about the monsters. You worried about the energy or that lifestyle happening to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, we had Cheaters, we had Jerry Springer. Shit, our ass was getting programmed greatly. Shit.
Oh, my.
More. Remember Maury? Oh man, you are not the father. Oh shit.
Every time.
I'm talking about that is great.
Look like they did. Look like in order for you to be on the show, I think they did the DNA test before just to make sure you wasn't a father. So it would be a lot of drama on that show.
Right. So what I had to do was definitely deprogram my whole consciousness of all that bullshit and understand man, this is not real. This is some bull. This is like so you got to deprogram. It's so important that you take these fasts and you take these and you do this chakra work, and I'm talking about do it. And chakra work is so good. You be like, wow, you feel great at you like, damn that. But you got to balance your chakras and always stay on top of it, because you feel that thought pattern coming back to be like, that's part of my sacral chakra. Let me go ahead and put some orange in there or something. Let me wear orange today. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And try to keep yourself in a optimal balance to where you're always keeping yourself in check with your ego and not trying to be worried. That's a big thing. Worry about what you don't have to worry about nothing. Everything is gonna flow the way it's supposed to flow, and you're gonna get everything you need. All you got to do is push forward and figure out why the fuck you came back to this bitch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that's all you got to do. And everything else will line in place, worrying about bills and what we gonna eat and blah blah blah, all that other stuff. Nah, you don't have to worry about that, man. I'll tell you, me and my babe can tell you countless stories. Countless, man. We could tell you a story today where just magic happens, and it's just divine right. We know, and we was like, oh, okay, yeah, that happened. All right, good. Go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And it's like just a knowing everything's gonna work its way out. You see what I'm saying? And that's the beauty in this whole thing. It's so man, but it's all based upon that the fact that we are so engaged in figuring ourselves out that everything else is aligned for us, because just for the simple fact that our higher self, and it's not. You can't like try to fake it. You just gotta be really with it. Like shit.
Mhm.
I want to be. I want to know. Like they say, like Bobby and Panic say, I want to know because I want to know. But you just gotta really want to know because you want to know. You want to get there. You know what I'm saying? You just like that's it. It's like you want to see what's up on the other side. Like, hey, let's go to the other side real quick. Let's figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And everything else is a piece of cake.
I'm glad you said that, because that goes back into like, back into the movie, or back into where it's saying like where we're at now. Like, as blacks in America, we don't know how, like, for a lot. Like the majority don't know how to even first tap in. We've been taught that, you have an imagination and that's not real. So people are really confused what is really the real world and the illusion world.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like you said, like whenever we have a problem on this world, we can easily solve it by going inside of ourselves, whether it's through a meditation, whether you take yourself to sleep and not fall asleep. Like, I had to learn the difference the hard way. I remember certain dreams. I'm like, yeah, I had a dream. And then the next day I'm like, what happened? Like, I don't remember nothing. I kind of get bits and pieces, but I learned the difference between not allowing yourself to fall asleep as opposed to choosing when you go to sleep and consciously go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's good, because them dreams are very important, man. I'm telling you, I wake up and decode my dream right after, because I already asked myself the question, and I knew once I woke up, it might take me a minute or two just to really decode it, but then I just automatically know, oh yeah, that's it. That's why that happened. Oh, okay, blah blah blah. And and it's crazy, man. I was robbing a bank in my dream yesterday, or I think that was the day. Yeah, I was robbing a bank in my dream yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and I was like, damn, what? And I said, I knew. Oh, I know. Okay, I know what that is. Blah blah blah. And then today, some money came. It was crazy. So it was like, wow, what is like kind of like, I was robbing a bank and I got away with it, to say that in the dream. Yeah, so it was a real spiritual dream, and I was like, okay, blah blah blah. But I have these dreams a lot. I have a lot of interesting dreams, and I can decode them instantly. You know what I mean? I try not to do the astral traveling thing so much, just for the simple fact that I'm trying to get answers down here for this realm, for this physical realm. I'm not trying to be flying and all that other stuff, and you know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure out this waking realm. Now, astral traveling is cool, and flying and doing all that other cool stuff, and understanding, I'm dreaming and I'm walking in my dream and all of that. That's fun too. But, you want to bring these answers back. You know what I mean? So you want your subconscious to ride. You see what I'm saying? And as you let your subconscious ride, you can get them answers and they can help you down here in this physical realm. Yeah, man. Anybody else got anything on this book? Babe, you got some light on this book? On this chapter 9?
I mean, y'all pretty much said everything. Do we talk about the days of the week that the planets correlate with?
Yeah. Well, we didn't break it down, but Kendra sent me a great thing, man. I thank you for that with the colors.
Yeah,
and the,
I can post it on the site because I just put that together. Like, you have to read it, and I'm trying to organize.
Oh, you did that yourself?
Yeah,
See, I'm telling you, we on the same page. That's crazy because I was going to do that I printed out a whole bunch of stuff, like planets, and I was going to write, the colors and stuff like that. But damn, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, post that. That's some shit. That's some shit right there. That's some magic for real.
Yeah, but basically
a better understanding of it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. And what you're about to say, we're pretty much about to say the same thing. Basically just having an understanding of the nature of those planets. A long time ago, I wrote all of these things down and would consciously, depending on the day of the week, do something that had to do with the nature of that planet. Like, I believe Venus is on Friday. Is that true, Kendra? Do you have that information?
No, I don't have the days and stuff. I had put the colors and what they represent, and the metal that it represents and stuff. You said Venus is on what?
Friday, I believe. Friday, of course.
It is on Friday because that usually is for love. It's Friday.
Okay, here we go. Of course, Monday, the moon. Saturday, Saturn. Sunday, the sun. So you could pretty much easily make those correlations. But y'all basically just talked about it all, knowing what colors, knowing the nature, knowing the days, and picking whatever you want to manifest and doing a ritual that's based off of that,
off of that energy. So whatever your intention is, you pick that. You can't, you don't have to pick that day. I mean, if your conscious mind believes in, which is something good to believe in, don't get me wrong, but if your conscious mind believes in that, then stick with that day and be like, okay, I'm looking for love. I'm looking for love or whatever. So Friday, I'm going to do me a love ritual, and I'm going to use the planet Venus elements to put all these physical representations showing that I have Venus in here, and then I also have other love representations like a heart or whatever,
right?
In my ritual, and then from there you put this feeling, this emotion. You gotta use that emotion. You see what I'm saying? Into the ritual with feeling, and then you let that shit go right after you're done. But the biggest thing and the biggest mistake I see all the time is motherfuckers don't plan their rituals, or they ain't planning correctly. You see what I'm saying? You got to plan this shit correctly. If your conscious mind believes in love on Fridays, and do that shit on a Friday, and make sure you don't have no distractions. Figure out the time of the day, and do it just like that. Don't try to kid yourself with this shit. Do that shit. Plan it. Plan. Say, hey, turn your phone off. Whatever you have to do. You know what I'm saying? and tell people, hey, get away, I'm shit. You know what I mean? For this hour and a half, I'm going to do this. And then make sure you concentrate on that shit. Make sure you meditate before you go into your ritual. Because for the simple fact that you don't want no worries of the day, you don't want no distraction, you don't want no Black Panther on your fucking mind, all these Black Panther videos we see. You just want to go into that ritual and know that this intention I'm about to put forth is going to come into reality.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you want to have a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling into that ritual, and that intention will, as long as you got it set, as long as you got your intention clear in your mind, that intention will come forth, and you just gotta be patient, and it'll come forth, or it'll come real fast, and you'll be like, wow, that shit works. Okay, let me, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's good, man.
I'm trying to see where he had said something is power. It's basically in preparing for the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
That like to have peace of mind. Peace equals power. Like to actually go into a meditative state prior to, doing your ritual, so you can have clarity of mind. And then when you have that is your power, you can't sit over here, like you said, start your ritual, and you have, it says peace is power. I know I wrote it down. He kept saying peace is power. The more calmer you are, the more easier it is for you to think, and it's easier for you to control, and that is your power. So if you have the kids going off doing this, you're thinking about Black Panther, you're thinking about your bills, and stuff like that, then your chances, you're scattered. Your energy is scattered. And if you have scattered energy and it's not focused, then you're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's it, Kendra. That's exactly what it is. Got to be in a mindset of comfortable, relaxed mindset when you go into these rituals, and then you want to make sure you have everything ready and go into it. Go into it ready. Go into it like with the mindset of, I know this shit is gonna work. And, damn near going to tears as you doing the ritual because you invoking that much energy, or like Sai would say, you are that angry, this shit better come on, or you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's that
it
energy.
Better.
Exactly. And I like that too, Sai, man, because that's that's some powerful thing, because that anger, man, is that frequency of power. Like, you can really power up to get something to come on this physical realm for real with that emotion.
Yeah, because the secret to anger, is just anger is at its purest form too. Is the heart, but it's when the heart it's like the heart being. Well, it's the complete opposite of the heart feeling. So instead of you going from like a humble approach, just like come on, family. If we see each other and we know one of us is slacking, we're not going to talk to each other like, hey, Sai, you need to, pick your shit up. Sai, come on, man, you flipping, pick it up. You got to talk to these deities the same, all these energies the same way. Because right now, the most important thing is you're in the physical. You're in the quote unquote hell, the prison, the matrix. You're in this now. They already left it. They already came and gone. So it's their responsibility to assist us in our work to move forward. I mean, we got it. Of course, we have to do the work. However, if you're doing the work and you know in your spirit, you feel you've done the work and you've made those changes and you don't see the results, You got to talk to some of these deities like, look, nigga, I'm a fuck you up. You need to get this shit going on because you know what's going on. There's only one place we're leaving after here. So it's like, look, hey, what happened back on Earth? You know, you're supposed to look out.
Exactly.
I didn't see it in the book, but I just looked it up. Monday is the moon. Tuesday is Mars. Wednesday is Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter, which is interesting because Thursday is usually a money day. So you would probably do your rituals, you know, I guess with Jupiter, because Jupiter is like over, isn't it over finance and money? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, they say like expansion, growth.
Growth, okay.
So it can be like in anything.
It can be in anything. Venus is on Friday, which and Saturday is Saturn, and Sunday is the Sun.
Right.
Yeah. Now they don't have the other planets. I don't see that they have the other three, include like uranium, Pluto. I didn't see that those. You know.
No, they only said they said it was only 7 that established with the days and.
Well,
you said uranium, Pluto, and what was the other one? The third one? Because
uranium, Pluto, and Neptune. Is that it? The three.
I know I think, if I'm not mistaken, Neptune is female energy. Pluto is male energy, and what was the other one? Uranus. That's Uranus. That would be just like your vibration or your consciousness or your awareness.
Yeah, your intuition.
So like So you know when they say mind, body, spirit, or spirit, body, those are what those 3 planets would be. Since our body is essentially like stardust and all that, so those 3 components are us.
Wow. Now you know what I was looking up also, y'all. Like if you think about it, the sun is gold, and gold, it gives off light, you know, and so gold actually amplifies energy. The moon is a reflection. It reflects light. You know, it doesn't give off light, but it's silver, and silver stabilizes energy. Okay, and Venus is a copper, and copper one of the attributes. Mercury. Sorry, where am I left, please, Mercury is orange, and Venus. Yeah, no, Venus. It goes on. I'm looking at Venus. Venus is copper, and it copper amplifies energy. So Venus amplifies it. It has a magnetic energy to attract the same properties as copper. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. And the magician, man, we own it. So I'm glad everybody got their the knowledge. Like I said, man, you gotta let that conscious mind understand these planets, so then you can power up and use these planets in the rituals that you should use it in. You feel me? Next week, chapter 10, Perfecting Your Magic. Ooh, that's going to be...
Slow laugh.
Perfecting Your Magic. That should be really interesting. We should see where we get to this. Man, we almost done with this book, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah, 11. Yeah,
it's nothing. We almost done with this thing, and we're gonna have to figure out something else, another book, another mission. But we letting everything flow the way it's supposed to flow, because it is gonna come to us. We are straight chaos beings. Man, I loved it again, man. I appreciate the talk, appreciate the light. Next week, chapter 10. Fuck with y'all when I fuck with y'all. Kendra, so I appreciate the light. Babe, you know what it is. I see you in the bedroom.
Okay.
And we'll see y'all next week. All the people that's listening, thank y'all for listening, man. I know we be saying a lot, but keep it on y'all life. That's the thing. We just want to give y'all as much knowledge as we have. We all teachers, and we just trying to give you it in our perspective. That is it. So
if you don't want it, go to sleep.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's all fun, man. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Love y'all, family. You have a good one.
All right.